Just like we were at Nandagram, that is connected more with Krishna's pastimes with his parents. And out in the fields there, that's where Krishna went with his cowherd boyfriend. But here at Govardhan Hill, we find that Krishna has pastimes with all of his different types of devotees.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
We are just about to pass through the village named Aniyor. So, every year, Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherd people, they would arrange for a big Indra Puja. Indra is in charge of sending rainfall, and they were agricultural people, farming people, so they were dependent on rainfall. So this was their practice every year. At about this time of the year, just after the rainy season, they would perform a big Indra Puja to prepare for the next farming year. So one of the main parts of this Indra Puja was a big food offering. So now we know, it's described there in Srimad Bhagavatam, how Krishna challenged Nanda Maharaj. Is this really shastric and bona fide, or is this just some traditional folk practice? And then Krishna presented some arguments to Nanda Maharaj. This, of course, these arguments, it's called Karma Mimamsa, and it is different from our Krishna conscious philosophy. Basically, the idea is that work is God, that you do your work and then you must get certain reactions, and nobody can change that, even God. And Govardhan is Govardhan. It nourishes the cows. So we are dependent on Govardhan, because Govardhan is nourishing the cows and we are dependent on the cow. So Krishna said, therefore, we should perform, instead of the Indra Puja, we should do a Govardhan Puja. We should worship Govardhan Hill, we should worship the cows, and we should worship the Brahmins because they give us good direction in our lives. So of course some people may wonder, why did Krishna not just say that, look, I'm God, Govardhan Hill is a manifestation of me, so you should just worship Govardhan Hill and worship me and forget about Indra. Why bother with this roundabout karma mimamsa philosophy, which is not really correct? Well, our acharyas explained that Krishna was trying to protect the innocent, the natural innocence of his Vrindavan pastime. If they all knew he was God, and if he was insisting he was God, then what would happen to all the loving exchanges? So Nanda Maharaj was convinced, and they took all the different paraphernalias and ingredients for the Indra Puja, and they prepared to use them for the Govardhan Puja. So from Dangati, up by Govardhan town, all the way down to Govindakund, which is still 1 or 2 kilometers away, and coming out from the hill 1 kilometer, they accumulated all the food offerings. There were many different types of sabjis. You know, all your favorites. Kapusta, kartoshka, markovka, gobi, bun gobi, gajar, aloo, and whatever. Paneer, lots of paneer, and many different types of samosas, many different types of kachori, many different types of chutneys. Oh, so many different types of pakoras. And what about the sweets? Manoga, rasgulla, rasmalai, rabri, and there were lakes of sweet rice. Where the hill is rolling along the sides there were lakes of kheer. You could just dive in and just drown in the kheer at the lotus feet of Govardhan. And many types of cool drinks. Thumbs up. No. Many, very sattvic and pure, cool, sweet drink. We won't go into that too much. So they were all piled up here for kilometers. Then Krishna manifested a gigantic form on top of Govardhan Hill. Spectacular form, very powerful and multicolored. And everyone could see that it was Krishna, but that it was also Govardhan. In this way they understood that Krishna and Govardhan are one and the same ultimately. So then that gigantic form of Krishna consumed all the food in 1 second. And then he called out, Aniyor, give me more! So the inhabitants of Vrindavan quickly rushed home and grabbed whatever else they had in their food stores and prepared another big offering. Again, there were many different rice preparations. Chawal like pushpana rice and many different types of dal to go with the rice, and many different types of parathas with all different types of vegetables in them, and many puris, all puffed up and very nice. Phew, it was just astonishing. What did we leave out? And again, Krishna consumed everything in 1 second. And you know what he did then? He called out, "Aniyor! Aniyor! Give me more!" But they didn't have any more. So Nanda Maharaj was in great anxiety. We gave up the Indra Puja. So that's a failure, that's finished. Then we tried to do the Govardhan Puja, but Govardhan is not happy. So the Govardhan Puja is also a failure. So we're finished. He was in great anxiety. Then Lord Balaram stepped forward. He is the crest jewel of the intelligent. He took one tulsi leaf. He went up Govardhan Hill. He presented this one tulsi leaf to this gigantic form of Krishna. And Krishna was completely satisfied. No more aniyor. So, this is what happened here at this place. Of course, I think we all know basically what happened next. Lord Indra saw that they have stopped my puja. They are not worshipping me. This is a big offense. If they don't worship me, then there's only one thing which is appropriate. They should all die. This is called being a little puffed up. So what happened next? Well, we'll continue the story at Govindakund.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
is Govinda Kund. This is where Lord Indra performed the Abhishek for Krishna.
Krishna himself organized the first Govardhan Parikrama, just like we're following in his footsteps. He requested all the residents of Vrindavan to come and join him on Parikrama around in honor of and glorifying Govardhan Hill. So we're following in the same path that Krishna and Nanda and Jasoda and all Balaram, all the cowherd boys and all the gopis followed in honor of Govardhan Hill. So as Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj described, Indra exhibited his feature of pride once again. Pride is always a problem on the path of those who have some success but do not have a pure heart. Persons of this world, if they have a religious view, so many have the idea of attaining the kingdom of heaven. What must be the qualification of the King of Heaven? How many pious activities must Indra have accumulated to achieve the King of Heaven post? In the kingdom of heaven, there's enormous opulence. What happens when someone comes in contact with enormous opulence, but whose heart is not completely pure? One tries to become the enjoyer of that opulence. One feels within one's heart pride at having achieved that opulence. And one holds feelings towards others if that opulence is not duly respected. Again and again, Indra falls prey to this. Although he's a great devotee, we should not misunderstand Indra as some small timer. He is a very elevated soul, but with pride still in the heart, he does some terrible things. This time, Indra decided that he wanted to kill the residents of Vrindavan, kill all the cows, and destroy Krishna. So he called the Samvartika cloud and sent Samvartika to come here to Vrindavan and inundate Vrindavan just like at the time of universal devastation. When that rain of devastation came, the whole of Vrindavan became flooded with water. Not only the residents of Vrindavan, the cows themselves were at great risk. In great despair, what does a devotee do when in difficulty? Krishna! They all turn to Krishna for shelter. And very soon we'll be observing the Krishna's lifting of Govardhan Hill. And for 7 days and 7 nights continuously, Krishna called the residents of Vrindavan and all the bullock carts and all the cows and all the gopas and all the gopis and all the different living entities to take shelter under the hill of Govardhan. We discussed this particular feature of the Govardhan Leela when we visited Kaliyagat. A special feature of this Leela was Krishna's fulfilling the desires of all the inhabitants of Braja to have darshan unbroken of him without cessation for 7 days. One of the characteristics of Krishna that we find in nectar devotion is that Krishna is expert. Krishna can accomplish many things simultaneously. So one of the things that Krishna accomplished was curbing the pride of Indra. But Krishna also allowed all the residents of Braja uninterrupted association with him. As the 7th day began to pass, Indra began to realize the nature of his mistake. Who is this small boy that's able to lift a mountain on the little finger of his left hand? He's none other than my worshipable Supreme Master. What a great offense I've made. When one is proud, one cannot see others in a proper manner. Such a wonderful way Krishna curbed the pride of Indra. So Indra went to Brahaspati and asked Brahaspati what to do now. After explaining the circumstance to Brahaspati, Brahaspati said to Indra, "Indra, you've done it again. When will you learn?" And this time you've offended Krishna directly. And even more so those who are so dear to Krishna, the cows and all the residents of Vraja. This is very serious. The only advice I can give you, Indra, is that you bring one who is very dear to Krishna with you, and through that person very dear to Krishna, you plead your case. If you go to Krishna directly, who knows what he will do? So Indra accepted the very wise advice of Brahaspati, and he approached one of Krishna's dearmost associates and friends, the cow. He approached Surabhi, and Surabhi was very happy to go see Krishna. So she came here with Indra and offered very beautiful prayers to Krishna. Actually, it was here at this Govinda Kund that the name of Krishna as Govinda was given. What is the meaning of the word Govinda? One who gives pleasure to the cows and to the land. So Surabhi said, actually, this person, Indra, is not our real Lord. You are our Lord, you are our Indra. And if you are very kind upon me, you will fulfill one desire I have. I would like to perform Abhishek with my own milk. And so, in this Kund, Govinda Kund, we find the Abhishek of Surabhi being performed for the purification of Indra and for the pleasure of Krishna. So this is a very sacred place, Govinda Kund. The waters from Govinda Kund were taken by Madhavendra Puri when he was performing Abhishek for his deity Gopal, just as had been done thousands of years before by Surabhi herself. One of the most wonderful places in all of Govardhan Hill is this very sacred Govinda Kund. It's under a tree by this Govinda Kund that Madhavendra Puri received the pot of milk from Gopal, from Krishna himself.